بسم الله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقهوا قولي. Welcome in our weekly Islamic discussion, and tonight we'll still going with the transactions, the sales and trading, and I would like just to start from the basics of sales and trading and learn how you trade Islamically. How can you make your trade and your business lawful? How can you make your business according to the Shar' of Allah, the rules of Allah Azza wa Jal? First, we would like to define what is the meaning of sales or trade or selling or buying. Al-bay' is a word, Arabic word, bay', ba-ya-ayn, bay', could be indicate selling and buying as well. So in Arabic language, when you say bay', means that either you buy or sell. So al-bay' is lawful. Generally, any bay' is lawful. The trading generally is lawful. What is the dalil? What is the evidence from the Quran? وَأَحَلَّ اللَّهُ الْبَيْعَ. Allah made the trading lawful. This is clear in Surah Al-Baqarah. Also, from Hadith al-Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam speech, قال إذا تبايع الرجلان فكل واحد منهما بالخيار ما لم يتفرقا. If two men has agreement, trading agreement, they have an option of cancel this agreement since they are still in the place of agreement. Once they leave the place of agreement, there is no option for canceling the trading. So if you went to an agent for car dealer and you check the car and you inspect the car and you happy with the car and you enter the office and sign the contract and you left, خلاص, finish. You cannot cancel it unless there is a defect in the car, and this defect was hidden and not identified before you sign the contract. So this also indicates that the bay' is, or the trading is lawful. And there is agreement between the scholars of Muslim that the trading is lawful in the lawful items, as we explain inshallah. طيب, what is the requirement for trading? There is some criteria to trade in Islam. First, satisfaction between both sides. Means that when you trade, you have to agree with the other side. Don't force the other side to buy your car. Don't cheat to let the other side buy your car. There should be clarity, transparency, as well as agreement and satisfaction between both sides. This is the first condition. Second, the items that you trade should be lawful, not haram. In Islam, there are some items clearly it is haram, illegal. The wine, the swine, the dead animal, and the idols. This is clearly haram. Blood, excellent. Blood, you can't sell it, blood. This is by itself, it's haram, but any circumstances. There are some items which is illegal for a reason, for the others. Like for example, gold. Gold is lawful for female, but illegal for male. So you can trade with gold for female. Also, the silk, the fabric silk, is lawful for male and female. Sorry, for female only, but for male, it is only if necessity and not more than 4 finger size. Some state, some cases, like especially in the jilbab or the cloth, what's called abaya, has to put like a collar here from silk or here from silk. In this case, or what's called rida, like that, garments, upper garments, sometimes it has some silk on it. This is permissible if unless it is exceed 4 finger size. This 4 finger size is permissible for male. Right. So first, satisfaction, agreement, clarity, transparency between both sides. Second, the item should be lawful, halal. Third, the ownership. You should own the items. You cannot sell something which not belongs to you. For example, I come to you, Asim. Okay, what about if I buy brother Elias' car? Can you buy it for me? No, because it's own. I didn't own this car. So you should own the items. And we explain this in details when you come to online transaction, online sales, online trading. Because you don't own the items, and but however, it is permissible to sell online, as I will explain, inshallah. So third, the ownership. Fourth, the ability of giving the items. For example, if you have your car, you are able to give it to the buyer once you agree and finish the contract. Sometimes there is some restriction done on the car in certain circumstances. You cannot sell the car. In this case, you cannot sell the car. This is uncertainty and cheating if you sell something that not belongs to you and you don't own. So first, agreement, transparency and clarity and satisfaction between both sides. Second, lawful items. Third, ownership. Fourth, ability to give the items. For example, if I go to someone and sell to him the fish in the ocean, it's permissible? How can you catch this fish? Or how many you can catch it? So you should be able to give the items to the person. طيب. There is some etiquettes, some manners, some akhlaq, some adab when you trade. You should be, as a Muslim, reflect the Islam in every single step of your life. You should be like a Quran walking on the street, like Prophet Muhammad ﷺ did that before. First, you have to know the rights of people. Islam came to protect the people's rights. There are 5 things Islam protected, these 5 things. First, the wills. Second, the soul or the blood of the person. Third, the brain or the mind. Fourth, the religion. Fifth, the dignity and the honor of the person. So the purposes of Islam is to protect your deen and protect the Islam and protect your deen from any kind of deviation from Islam. The purpose of Islam is to secure your wealth, so no one can steal your money, no one can consume your money illegally. The perspective of Islam is to protect your female from any attraction, protect yourself as well. The perspective of Islam is to protect your brain, your mind, for any brainwash, from any kind of thoughts that contradict with Islam. So these are 5 things Islam came, and you have to look for these 5 things in your life. If you are not able to protect these 5 things, you have to find a place that protect yourself from these 5. For example, some countries, even a Muslim country, but there is an oppression there. The people cannot practice the Islam there, even in the Muslim country. Or the people are insecure in their life. A lot of fighting, a lot of bomb, or whatever. So in this case, you have to leave this place to find a place that you can secure yourself. These 5 things are very important in Islam. So the first thing you need to know, the rights of the people. من غشنا فليس منا. Whoever cheat us, he will not belongs to us. Means he is not from the akhlaq, the manner of the Muslim to cheat. Even with non-Muslim, even with non-Muslim. Generally, look, in Islam, the manners and akhlaq does not or do not separate between Muslim and non-Muslim. You have to be equal in both sides. Don't lie with a Muslim and also don't lie with a non-Muslim. Be honest with a Muslim, be honest with a non-Muslim. There is no discrimination in terms of manners in Islam. You have to be one side, one face. Don't be double face. So before you start trading, you have to know this concept. You have to know the other sides, the other rights. And also, don't consume the wealth of the people illegally. Don't steal the people. Don't cheat the people. Don't try to do a trick to take the money of the people. This is the akhlaq of the Muslim. Also, deal with the good items, with the lawful items. Stay away from bad items. As we explained that Allah Azza wa Jal and His Prophet prohibited the wine, the swine, the dead, and the idols, and also in another hadith, the mayta, or the blood as well. Stay away from the interest, the usury. The usury or the interest are 2 types. The first one is the riba al-fadl, excess interest. The second one is riba al-nasi'a, delayed interest. Simply, why Islam prohibit interest or usury? Islam prohibit interest or riba for many reasons. The first thing, it will increase the dispute between people. If someone use the necessity of person to have a loan, and then he will give the loan with an extra money, this will be inside the person who in necessity increase his upset and his sadness because he is in necessity. In Islam, we have what's called qardu hasan, a good loan. You give 1,000 and take 1,000, and you will rewarded. You have a reward from Allah Azza wa Jal, and you have barakah, abundancy. And barakah is very important. More abundancy is more important than the wealth. I give an example. If you have 2 persons, first one, his salary 10,000 per month, and the second one is 1,000 per month, or maybe 5,000 per month. خلاص. At the end of the month, you will find the one with 5,000 can save from his salary 2,000, while the other who have 10,000, he spend it and take extra from his friend to finish the month. Why? There is a difference between the wealth and the barakah of the money, the abundancy of the money. Barakah or abundancy means that Allah Azza wa Jal increase the money and the using of the money, even it is the same amount. I give an example. If Allah Azza wa Jal give someone the abundance in his money, He protect him from anything that consumes the money. For example, he don't need to go to the doctors. Allah protect him from illness. Allah protect him from any accident happen to his car. On the other side, the one who don't have barakah, although has money, a lot of money, but he spend his money going to the doctor, repair his car, lost his mobile, All this decrease the money, although it seems to be more than the other. But because the other has a good money, halal money, lawful money, Allah brings the abundance in His wealth. So although it's a little, but exceeds the necessity. Yani can be fulfill his necessity. So the riba is prohibited because it increases the dispute, or the interest is prohibited because it increases the dispute between the people, each other. And also it kind of increase the fighting between people as well. There are two types of riba, as I explained, the extra riba and the delaying riba. The extra means that you increase in the amount of the items, of the same items, when you deal with these items. I mentioned last time there are 6 items called the ribawi, or the interest items. Who remembers these 6 items? Gold, silver, barley, wheat, dates, and salts. Maybe someone asked question, why these 6 items especially? What is the relation between these 6 items? If you look at these 6 items, silver and gold is a currency. So you can use a currency to buy and sell anything. Wheat and barley is terms of food which you bring essential element for your food. If you have a wheat or barley, you can grind it into a flour, and then you do a bread, which is enough for you with water. Bread and water, you can stay alive. Also the date. If you have only date with water, it's enough for your life. And also salts. If you want to look at the salts from medicine point of view, salt is very important for the cell life. Why? Each cell has its own electrolytes inside the cell. These electrolytes, the main constituent is a salt, sodium chloride. This salt is essential for your life. Otherwise, your cell will lack of salt. What happens? In this case, the cell will shrinkage and not able to reproduce the energy. This actually a research done in a medicine and science indicates the importance of salts. So Islam tried to protect the main essential items in the life. And by the way, maybe someone asked, why when you have wheat, it is prohibited to exchange it with the wheat, and it should be equal, not be difference? Why? Very simple. Because the wheat, if you look at the wheat as items, these are not the reason, but you look at the wheat as the reason of the wheat. What is the purpose of the wheat? It is an essential food for the person. So when you have a wheat, whatever this kind of wheat, any types, it's similar to the other. So why you increase? Why you have a differences? The same when you have a gold, and this gold, even new and old, still is gold. It still have the value. When you have a silver, still have the value. Even the date, although there is some good date and bad date, but still have the essential element of the date. So this is a purpose this is a message for the people that you should not remove the essential items for the others, and should not use the essential items to trade and to get profit. The profit could be done from any items, not the essential items, because these are main essential items. This not only in the time of the Prophet and the Sahaba. If there is no item except these 6, you can stay alive for a long time. Just need water. And also there is prohibition also to, if you have an extra water, it's prohibited to sell it. You have to give it without money, because it's the water. If you have water over than your need, for example, if you have a farm and you have allocated water and you finish your water, and your neighbor looking for water for his farm, you give it him for free. This is don't sell the water. So this is also shows that the Islam is a deen of a moral, deen of manners, deen of unity. We need to have one unity. We need to have one unit of the people. Don't use the essential items for trading. You can use any other items except these items, because these items are essential for life. But if you can trade between the items with a variation. And look, here's the difference. So you can buy gold, 100-gram gold, with maybe 500-gram silver. No problem, because there is a variation now in items. But it has to be on the same spot, hand to hand, as we mentioned. So when you deal with the trade, you stay away from riba. This is called interest or riba. Also, when you trade, you should make sure you fulfill the scaling and the measurement in your trade. If you deal with items need to weight, you have to make sure that you calibrate your balance, your scale, and don't sell items unless it's accurate or precise balance. This you need to be careful about measurement and scaling of the items. Also, some people do what's called oath by Allah to confirm that they are selling something good for you. Say, Wallahi, by Allah, it is a good car. Wallahi, it is a good house. Wallahi, it is a good such and such. He always say, Wallahi, Wallahi, by Allah, just to confirm to that he's selling good items. Although it may increase the selling, but it takes the barakah, takes the abundance of that. So also when you trade, you have to be honest. حديث النبي صلى الله عليه وسلم البيعان بالخيار ما لم يتفرقا فإن بينا ونصحا بورك لهما وإن كذبا محق بركة بيعهما. So the bay'an or the trading by options until they leave the place of agreement. If they explain and clarify before they sign the contract all the items defect, all the problem with the items, Allah will bring abundancy in this transaction. But if they hide or lie or cheat, in this case Allah will take the abundancy from this transaction. So this all or most of the good manners when you trade in Islam. Let us start talking about one of the items that prohibited in Islam. We just explained that the wine, the swine, the blood, the dead, the idols. We're going to start with these 5 items and we'll see why these items is prohibited in Islam. The wine. If you look to the stages of prohibition of wine in Islam, wallahi subhanallah, this is like a scientific study or clinical study in medicine. If you look to the sequence that Allah Azza wa Jal prohibit the wine, it is actual clinical study in the School of Medicine. Why? Because the wine produce dependency. The cells will depend on the wine. It will absorb the alcohol and penetrate through the cells, and this will do a lot of side effect. If you withdraw the alcohol suddenly, it will do what's called withdrawal syndrome or withdrawal symptoms. Islam, when prohibit the khamr, it passed through 4 stages. How many stages? Because before khamr became illegal, the Muslim used to drink alcohol, and before Islam they used to drink alcohol. But Islam came to adapt and to treat and to educate the Muslim to stop alcohol. First, Allah mentioned in Surah An-Nahl, the honeybee surah or chapter, about the fruits. From the fruits, Allah said the meaning, from the fruits of the dates and the grapes, you will take a good sustenance as well as intoxicant. So this is the first step that Allah explained in Surah An-Nahl, the honeybee chapter, that the people used to take from the fruits, the grapes, the dates, either trading to have a good sustenance or using in a bad way by having an intoxicant. This is the first stage. Then in Surah Al-Baqarah, the cow chapter, Allah said, they asked you, means Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, about the wine, the khamr. Say to them, it has a great sense as well as a benefit, a profits, because they trade and take profits. But the sense is greater than the benefit. Second stage. Slowly, try to emphasize to them the khamr is not good. Third stage, Surah An-Nisa, the woman chapter. Allah said, oh, who you believe, don't attend prayer while you are intoxicant, while you are drunk, until you recognize and can you recognize what you are saying. So here we have gap, because in Islam, how many salah we have? 5 daily salah. So we have the morning salah, the dawn salah, and then the noon salah prayer, and then the afternoon salah, asr, and then the sun set time salah, the maghrib, you was finished, and then the night salah is the isha. So if someone would like to pray, he should avoid drinking alcohol before salah at least 3 or 4 hours in order to be fresh. So how can he do that since he has 5 daily salah over the 24 hour? So it's just kind of indirect saying it is illegal, but indirect. Because how can you do that? Allah gives them a command, don't attend salah while you are drunk. But in order to do that, you have to leave the alcohol at least 4 hours before the salah. So it cannot be done. So the last stage, which makes the khamr and the wine is illegal and unlawful. Allah Azza wa Jal said, Allahumma salli. Innama al-khamr wal, indeed the wine and the gambling and the idol, and it's a dirty from the shaitan. So stay away from that. A dirty from the devil. Stay away from that. And Allah said to stay away. Don't approach it. It is more stronger than prohibition. Because, for example, we are sitting here, and if you are sitting in a place, and in this place they are selling something haram. Is this something haram or something illegal? Although you are staying there, but it is not khamr. Yani for example, if someone selling a blood in a place, you are in a hospital, for example, and someone came to the hospital and give his blood for money. In Islam, you cannot sell your blood. It's only donation. If you are in a hospital clinic and someone sitting next to you and he's selling his blood, is this haram or halal to sell your blood? It is illegal, Islamically illegal. But you can stay in the place, no problem. But if someone drinking alcohol, you can't stay at all. Look the difference? So when Allah said don't stay or do not approach to these items, to the alcohol, means that you stay away more stronger than prohibition. It's more stronger than prohibition. So the wine is prohibited over 4 stages. The last one, stay away, don't approach the alcohol at all. Either sitting in a place, people drinking alcohol, or trading with alcohol, and of course, drinking alcohol. All this illegal. طيب. The mayta, the dead animal. We shed the wine and the dead and the swine and the idol. The dead animal, it is illegal to trade with a dead animal. And when you mention the concept of dead animal, means that it is slaughtered or killed non-Islamically. So any animal or any animal that lawful for us to eat, if it is slaughtered or killed non-Islamically, it's called dead animal. Even they slaughtered it, but not Islamically, still dead. Like for example, for slaughtering the animal, there are 2 veins here. You have to cut these 2 veins. If you didn't cut these 2 veins and just cut from here, this is not a slaughter. You suffocate the animal. It's not slaughtering. It is suffocation. In this case, it's a dead animal. And the reason, if you want to know the reason, and by the way, I have a very important point. Islam means submission. Islam means that you declare. Islam means that you leave it to your God, leave it to your Creator. And you are follower. You follow. You don't argue with your Creator. Don't argue with our Creator. Since you believe in Allah Azza wa Jal, believe in our Lord, our God, when He commanded you something, don't ask why. Don't ask how. You have to submit. And this is His right, Allah's rights. He created us and give to us everything that we have. Even the cup of water, you are not able to create cup of water. Simple food, you are not able to create this simple food. An atom, you cannot create atom. So why you argue with your Creator? You have to submit. But anyway, if you know the reason, it will increase your satisfaction. But if you don't know the reason, still you submit and believe and leave it, because you don't know the reason, but your Creator knows the reason, of course. So why the dead animal is illegal? This also comes from scientific research. When you kill the animal or shock the animal suddenly, in the body there is some transmitter secreted to, or in case of emergency, case of a shock, this transmitter will increase a toxic compound in the blood, and this toxic material will diffuse through the meat, and in this case the meat quality and the meat benefit will less than the normal. But when you slaughter the animal, you release all these toxins by the blood, and Islamically leave the animal until the blood finish, and then you can cut the meat and do what we call. So the dead animal is prohibited to eat, and of course prohibited to trade, because when Allah Azza wa Jal prohibits something, it prohibits the price coming from this thing. But there is an exception of the dead animal. The dead animal of the marine dead animal. It is lawful to eat any marine animal, even if dead. Also, the locust, but it's not familiar here, but some countries eat the locust. It's also lawful to eat. Right. Then we mention the wine, the swine, the dead, the swine, the khinzir, the pig. Al-khinzir or the swine is Islamically illegal to either eat or to trade with it. And if you want to know the reason, also scientific research done saying that the meat of the swine is a source of many parasites and many bugs and many infections. Because if you look to the life of the pig, it eats the rubbish, the dirt. It has, he leave the good thing and eat the bad thing. So it's already inside his meat. There is a dirt and so on. This is if you want a reason. So this is the swine. And here we have cases. If we convert the swine to a different material and use this material in cooking, does it still lawful to use it? For example, gelatin. Gelatin is produced from the bone. It is like a mucilage, like what's called proteinaceous gum or mucilage. So this gelatin, they extract it from the bone, either from the khinzir, the pig, or from the beef. So if this beef or this cow is dead, or you have a khinzir or the pig, and you extract the gelatin and you treat it differently to a different composition, can we use this composition? This has two opinions. The majority of scholars said that look to the source, the origin. If it's lawful, so it's lawful. If it is haram, don't use it, which is a correct opinion. The other opinion said that since it's converted to different component and this has not related to the origin, so we can use it. But in order to stay away from the doubtful items, stay away from this such thing. Right. Last thing tonight, we mentioned the swine, the wine, the dead, the blood. The blood, it is illegal to trade with blood, and it's illegal illegally to eat or drink blood. I know some tradition in some countries, they cook the blood like an egg. You're doing like egg, I saw that in some videos like that. They put like a flour with the blood and cooked like an egg. Anyway, so the blood is illegal or Islamic illegal because the blood contain many toxic. It is not a pure, because the purpose of the blood in the body is to filter the body from the toxic. So how can you eat something toxic? The only two blood you can eat it, which is the liver of animal slaughtered Islamically, and also the spleen of the animal slaughtered Islamically. This is the only blood they can eat. It is a clot blood, not an actual blood. One case is here in the blood called the cupping. You know the cupping? Hijama. Anyone did cupping before here? Yeah. What is the purpose of cupping? Cupping, you suck the blood from a certain site of place to take the toxic from your body. So hijama is an actual treatment. So can we say it is unlawful to work in this kind of trading? So if someone did cupping, can he take money for that? He dealing with the blood. Here we have to go to the Sunnah to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the Sunnah of the practice of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam did hijama, did cupping, and he gave to the person who did the hijama a sa', which is a measurement amount of date. So he give him a reward, give him a salary. If it unlawful to trade with such blood, in this case he wouldn't give it to him. So cupping is lawful to work in a cupping, and you take money from cupping. And this is the end of tonight's lesson. So maybe 1 or 2 minutes if you have any questions, and then after we finish the lesson on live, we'll go to any discussion together inshallah. خلاص طيب بارك الله فيكم. See you inshallah next week inshallah. السلام عليكم.
Can't see it.
Oh, here.